In this video we'll see how we can bring in a 2D image and model it as a 3D model inside of SketchUp. So to do this, there is an image that's provided to you called the livingroom.jpg. I want you to go to File, go to Import, and select that livingroom.jpg, which is provided on Canvas. Make sure that this is set to new match photo. Use image as is set to new match photograph, and this drop down is set to all supported image types, otherwise you might not see it here. So once you have everything set up, just click on it and say import, and this is what you can see. So what I want to do is, first I want to change some settings here. Once you bring the image in, you'll see on your default tray, you'll see the match photograph light up. All the buttons are enabled. So there are a couple of things that you can change. This is an interior shot, so what I want to do is I want to create an inside rather than a above or an outside, and the others I'm just going to leave as it is. These just work on how you see the grid here. So once that's done, I'm gonna start moving my lines around. So basically these lines represent lines of a 2-point perspective, because this image is actually 2-point perspective. So I'm gonna match up these lines with the lines on the photograph by moving these squares. So the first thing that I should have probably done is move this yellow dot to the very corner, and then move these dots and lines so that it matches the lines of the image. So it's okay if everything kind of messes up what you've done. Once you've completed adding the lines, these 4 lines, everything's gonna look fine. So let's do that. And I think once this blue line is straight, that means that it's correctly placed. All the lines are correctly placed. So I can even scroll in just a bit if I wanted to refine it even further. That seems fine, and I'm just using my scroll wheel and my middle mouse button just to scroll in and refine these lines just a tad, so everything looks okay. So this one seems a bit off, and that seems okay. So once that's all done, what I need to do is I want to say done, and before I do anything else, I'm just gonna select this person here and I'm gonna delete it. Now everything's done. All I need to do is create the planes, but if you let's do that. Let's create the plane. So I'm gonna use my rectangle tool, and I'm starting to create my walls. So I'm starting to add my walls like so. This one, so that it matches there we go. And then I'm going to scroll out just a bit, and make sure that you delete the person, otherwise the person is going to be etched onto your image. Now I've created the plan, but let's say if you for some reason if you try to orbit around, everything's going to go away, and that's okay. If you accidentally do that, just double click on this tab here and everything goes back to the way it was, right? So the next thing that I want to do is I want to project the texture onto the walls and ceiling and the flow that I just created. So all I need to do is click on this project textures from photograph, and it's going to ask me, do you want to trim partially visible faces? I'm just going to say yes. And then if I orbit it, you see the textures are projected onto the walls and the flow that I just created. So that's how you create your or add an image and make it a 3D model. The next thing that we can do is we can make this look more 3D by modeling them up. So I can start with the one that's closer to me. So this one, it's not going to be like 100% perfect, but it's going to look better than a 2D image. So once you draw it up, you can extrude it like so, and I can go ahead and do the window as well. So let's do that. Just gonna draw a rectangle around the window. Oops. Let me just, I think it snapped to the wrong place. So let's do that. There we go. And then I can also add some of the details in here. I can make this sure that it's set to here, and then I can extrude this just a bit like so, and I can even draw details in here. I can push the glass in just a bit and push it in just a bit so that it has this 3D effect. Right, so that's how you model it. Same way you can do the dough as well. So you can go in and draw the dough frame and extrude it the same way that you did the window. Now, using something like this, you can go to a site. Let's say you were asked to remodel an existing site or design the interior of an existing space. You can quickly go and just take one picture, bring it in, put it in SketchUp and make it the 3D image, and then start adding furniture and such here. So you can go into your 3D warehouse. Let's say I want a Herman Miller chase or something. So let's download something from the warehouse. Let's do this one. Okay, I want this, and that seems a little bit too big, and I'm gonna scale it down just a bit so that it fits with this model. So like that, you can try things out in a existing using a picture. You can try how furniture might fit that space using a picture and just a photograph and putting it in SketchUp and making it 3D.